Parent Lose Your Children from Bondage Enhanced Edition. This book is very, very unique because I don't believe there's anything like that in the market. Or I don't think there's any book ever written like that. The first book we wrote, like I said before, we sold about 10,000 copies of that, and we had so many much order. And when I picked up that book and I began to read it again, when I was about to write this, I found out, wow, when I wrote all this, that what was I thinking? You know, I wrote so many things that I'm like, oh my God, I started deleting it. I see somebody was watching me so quick, like, because I've grown. But when I wrote the book, as powerful as it was, and we had so many people asking more for it, I wrote it as a single person, just pure inspiration. There was no physical experience. There was experience because I was leading a group in Nigeria then that's called Ministry to Rebellious Children. I was dealing with children that are having psychological, spiritual, mental, physical issues, academic issue, and all that stuff. So I have quite a lot of experience in that field, but I was not a physical parent. I was not a biological parent. I was not married. So 18 years later, I'm married. I've been married now for 12 years. I have 3 kids, 11, 7, and 4, 2 boys and a girl.
And their names are?
Ore, Ayo, and Shade. I always tell people I have 2 boys and a boss.
That was my next question. Who is the boss?
Shade is the boss. Shade, the 4-year-old, is the boss. And she knows it, and she proves it, and she spit it in her face non-stop. She's totally in control of the family. We all bow at Shade's altar.
You hear that, Shade?
So, you know, and I would say I almost felt that the first book was the African version of the book. This book is this is deeper. We reach out to way wider audience. The first book, God gave me 4 classification of children. Do you know there are classification of children in the Bible? I've asked that question to everybody. I've never had one person that says yes. Nobody knows that. I've never met anybody that says yes. But there are specific, different classes of children in the Bible. I've asked that question to many people, and I've not had one person that says, yeah, I know. I've never. It's pure revelation that God gave me, and I'm glad because. And then you see in the book the classification of children, why your child is behaving the way they are behaving, why they think the way they think, why they talk the way they talk, why they respond the way they respond. The Bible explains why, how. Every child is different. And the Bible gave me, the first book, 4 classification. Here, the Bible gave me 13. God gave me 13 classification on the same topic. Went from 4 to 13, 9 more classification, 12 plus Jesus Christ. And that explains to you why your child thinks the way they think, why they respond the way they respond, why are they doing what they're doing now, what is the best way to reach that child. Most parents have never read a single book on raising a child, yet they are raising God's heritage. So this book talks about the classification of children, and then this book talks about you as parent first. In fact, at the beginning of the book, I said this book is called Parent Lose Your Children from Bondage. I said, but for you reading it, it might be best titled Parent Lose Yourself from Bondage. Or better still, Parent Lose Yourself and your children from bondage. Because your present drama is as a result of your past trauma. You can only produce after your own kind, right? You can only produce after your own kind. You can only give what you have, right? We always declare and say what we want, but we reproduce what we are. So the challenge is for you to first discover who you are. Why are you the way you are? Why do you think the way you think? Why do you respond the way you respond? It's as a result of the way you were raised. Your parenting, your environment, your training, your upbringing. So the foundation has to start with you. You are the fountain from which your children flow. We talk about genetic transfer, but there are spiritual transfer. And in the book, God opened my eyes to the most important family in the Bible, which is the family of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is one of the few families that the Bible actually took time to break down from generation to generation. And you will see in that in Genesis that there are things that happen in the life of Abraham that are repeated in the life of Isaac and Jacob. For instance, Abraham's wife Sarah was barren. Isaac's wife was barren. Right? Rebecca was barren. And then Rachel, Jacob was barren. Is that a coincidence? It's not that the guys are barren, it's their wives. Tell me now if it's the guys are barren, it's okay, well your father is barren, your brother is genetic. Well, they all married from different people, but their wives were all barren. Right? Okay. If you look at Abraham, Abraham went through famine. That's why he has to divert to Egypt. Right? Isaac went through famine. Remember, they kept on covering his wells. And then Jacob went through famine. Remember, when he has to go to Egypt to meet Joseph. The famine. How come it happened in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's life? What about lies? Abraham lied that Sarah was his wife. Isaac lied that Rebecca was his wife. Oh, we all know that Jacob was the biggest liar in the Bible. Why? Is that a coincidence? That everything that happened to Abraham happened to Isaac, happened to Jacob. There is a spiritual flow, a spiritual transfer. And it's not genetic, it's spiritual. Okay? So it's beyond that genetic transfer. We are talking about spiritual transfer. And if you don't know that, you wonder why certain things are happening to you, why certain things are happening to your children. Meant that we are getting mad with the children for the things they are doing that we transfer to them. So the first chapter in the book says, breakthrough must start with me, with you.